The second setup I have for you guys is on GBP USD. Now you guys can see on the weekly time frame, 1.325 is holding as a strong level of resistance now, with where we had three rejections off of this level. Now price is starting to push back towards the downside, and we essentially broke 1.3, which was acting as a strong level of support. With this bearish engulfing, we had that retest, then a continuation back to the downside. Price did pierce through 1.275 and then started to push back up on Friday. However, I still want to see 1.25 being achieved as our overall target. Now, for us to actually go ahead and enter this position, we would have to wait for a daily closure below 1.275, and then we can look for to enter a sell position back towards 1.25. Another confluence we can add is a series of lower highs being formed here, where we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lower highs. And then we also had enough bearish momentum and bearish pressure to close below this mini level of support at 1.28820. So on Friday we had a huge push to the downside. We spiked 1.275, and it seems as though price will come up for a retracement, creating another lower high before ultimately continuing to push to the downside. Now, because we have a bearish bias, we're only going to be looking for a sell position on this. So there's two scenarios that could play out on GBP USD. One of them is a daily closure below 1.275. Now, I'm not saying this will happen on Monday, but it could happen potentially later on in the week, where we have a closure below 1.275. If that occurs, I'd look for the retest and then a continuation back to 1.25 being our overall target. Now, our second scenario is that price pushes up to the upside, forms another lower high formation, and then we can execute a trade opportunity once we see some like a rejection happening, a bearish engulfing, a bearish shooting star, whatever it might be. Then we can enter a sell position back towards 1.275. In both scenarios, we would be making a considerable amount of pips, which in scenario number one we'd make around 250. Scenario number two, we'd make around 180 pips. Alright guys, so GBP USD, I'll be keeping a close eye on the daily closure, and we would be looking for a potential sell opportunity on this. We're not going to be looking for buys on GBP USD. Obviously, I will be updating you guys on this daily, and I'm planning on making some more video analysis for this week, for this week, and we'll see how that goes. But for right now, I will continue to update you guys on GBP USD, and will even provide a signal when I think it is appropriate to enter the market.